I booked a remote cabin for a weekend getaway. No signal, no distractions, just me, a couple of books, and silence. The listing said, Quiet Pines Cabin, perfect for solitude. That was the appeal. The drive there was uneventful, though the GPS lost connection about 10 minutes from the location. I followed handwritten directions the host had emailed me. Through thick woods, up winding gravel roads, the kind of place where your headlights barely cut through the trees. When I arrived, the sky was already turning dark. The cabin sat alone, nestled between pines that leaned in like they were listening. It was small, rustic, but clean. Cozy. One room, a fireplace, a kitchenette, and a single bed. Just enough. I found a welcome note on the table. Handwritten. Welcome to Quiet Pines. Enjoy your stay, room for one. I chuckled. Quirky branding, I thought. By 9 p.m., the storm rolled in, thunder, wind, rain slapping against the windows. I curled up by the fire with a glass of wine. That's when I first heard it. A soft knock. Not at the door. At the window. Just a tap, tap, tap. I froze. My phone was inside charging, useless without signal anyway. I crept to the window, heart pounding. Nothing. Just trees swaying in the wind. Maybe a branch, I told myself. Yeah. A branch. I went back to the couch and turned the volume up on the music. An hour later, as I lay in bed, the smoke alarm suddenly went off, shrill, echoing. I jumped up, nearly tripping over my bag. There was no smoke. No fire. Just the alarm screaming like something wanted me awake. I got it to stop, finally. And as silence returned, I heard it again. Tap. 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 But this time it was at the back door. No branches back there. Just solid wall, a single door, and whatever was behind it. I didn't look. I couldn't. Instead, I locked the bedroom door and tried to sleep. I woke up to sunlight. Just a dream, I thought. Anxiety and wine. I laughed it off while making coffee. The power had stayed on. Nothing seemed disturbed. I was being paranoid. Until I saw it. On the inside of the back door, something had been scratched into the wood. 3 words. Room for 2. I stared at it, heart thumping so loud I could barely think. No way that was there before. I would have seen it. I checked the locks, still bolted. No signs of a break-in. I needed to leave. I packed up, went to start my car, dead. Not just dead battery, the wires had been cut. I ran back inside and tried calling the host through the Wi-Fi. That's when I noticed, there was no router. The cabin had no internet at all. But I swear the listing had said Wi-Fi was included. I searched the drawers for a manual or emergency contact. Found nothing. But there was a second note, one I hadn't seen before. Folded, placed on the same table. It read. You let it in. You weren't supposed to open the window. I didn't. I never opened it. Did I? I checked all of them again. They were shut. Locked. Except one in the kitchen. It was cracked open. Just slightly. My stomach dropped. The rest of the day passed in anxious silence. No knocks. No alarms. Just that creeping feeling of being watched. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat up with a flashlight and kitchen knife, heart racing at every creak. At 3:13 a.m., the power went out. Not flickered, just cut. The fire had burned out hours ago. The darkness was suffocating. Then, I heard something shuffle across the floorboards. Inside. Slow steps. Not boots. Not bare feet either. Something wrong. Wet. It stopped outside the bedroom door. I didn't breathe. Then, a whisper. On the other side. I made room for you. The doorknob rattled. I screamed and lunged forward, bracing the door, pressing all my weight against it. But nothing came through. And then. The sun rose. By morning, the power returned. My phone buzzed to life with 1 bar of signal. I called a tow truck company and lied, said I hit a rock. They arrived 2 hours later. I didn't say anything about the scratches or whispers. I just left. But a week later, I got an email from the Airbnb host. Subject: follow up on your stay. Message: we noticed you checked out a day early. Hope everything was okay. Just wanted to let you know we found some damage to the property, deep scratches on the bedroom door, broken lock, blood on the floor. Was there an incident? Blood? I never bled. I never touched that door after locking it. I replied quickly, trying to keep calm. Told them I didn't know what they were talking about, that I left everything as I found it. No reply. That night, I couldn't sleep. At 3:13 a.m., the same time as the power outage at the cabin, my bedroom door creaked open. I live alone. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight. On the inside of the door, scratched in the paint. Room for 3. I ran. Left everything. Called a friend, told them I was being followed, haunted, I don't even know. They let me stay with them. But here's the part one still don't understand. The next day, my friend texted me while I was out buying clothes. Just 3 words. Who's with you? I wrote back immediately. No one. They sent a photo. Taken from their hallway security cam. The image froze me. It showed me, standing in the hallway of my friend's house, just inside their door, but behind me were 2 figures. Tall. Blurred. So dark they looked like holes punched through the air. One loomed just inches from my back. The other leaned against the wall like it was waiting for something. The text my friend sent afterwards shook me worse. There's only 1 set of footprints at the door. Yours. I stared at the photo again, this time zooming in. That's when I saw it. My face. It looked off. Pale, eyes slightly unfocused, mouth just slightly parted, like I wasn't fully there. Like I had already started to become something else. I rushed home. Packed everything. Planned to leave town completely. But before I could, my phone buzzed with a new email, no subject, no name. Just a message. 1 becomes 2. 2 becomes 3. 3 opens the door. Attached to the message was a video file. The thumbnail froze my blood. It was a still frame of me, standing inside the cabin, but I had never seen it taken. I hit play. Int. Cabin, grainy video, unknown source. I'm asleep on the bed. The camera is across the room, unmoving. At 3:13 a.m., the lights flicker and go out. The bedroom door opens. Someone walks in. No. Something. Thin, long limbs, no eyes, but the suggestion of a face stretched into a smile. It moves to the side of the bed and whispers something into my ear. Then. I sit up. Still asleep, eyes closed. But my mouth moves. I'm speaking back. And as I speak, a second shape crawls out from under the bed. Then the video ends. I didn't sleep that night. Or the next. I started digging into the cabin's history. Police reports, missing persons, Reddit threads, anything. I found 1 post. Hidden on a conspiracy forum, dated 2 years ago. Anyone ever stay at Quiet Pines cabin? No responses. But the user who posted it. Their name caught my eye. Sarah Walker. My name. Same spelling. Same age. But the profile photo wasn't me. She looked like me. Exactly. But, not. I followed the rabbit hole and found more. Every year, someone books that cabin. Every year, they post something strange. Then vanish. All of them had similar names. Sarah. 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 They weren't coincidences. They were replacements. Vessels. The cabin wasn't just haunted. It was a ritual site. Feeding something that wants to step through. I tried calling the police. Tried explaining. They didn't believe me, of course. But 2 days later, the detective who took my call showed up at my friend's house. He wanted to ask me a few more questions. But as he stepped inside, he froze. He looked behind me, at nothing, eyes wide. Then he said, "Ma'am, where are the other two?" I asked him what he meant. His voice dropped to a whisper. "I saw 3 people walk in. 1 woman, and 2 men. Tall. Didn't speak. I told him I was alone. He made an excuse and left. That night, my friend finally confronted me. She was pale. Sleepless. She said I'd been talking in my sleep, voices coming from my room, in 3 distinct tones. 1 female. 2 male. Overlapping. Chanting the same phrase again and again. Make room. Make room. Make room. The next morning, she was gone. No note. Just her phone left behind. Unlocked. I checked her texts. The last message she sent was to a number not in her contacts. I can't sleep. They're standing over her bed. It's been 3 days. Every time I look in the mirror now, my reflection lags behind, just a second. And sometimes, I see shapes behind me. Not just shadows, figures. Tall, watching. Getting clearer each time. Last night, I found a new note tucked under my pillow. Same handwriting as before. It simply reads. Room for 4. Cut to black. Voiceover whispers over silence. 1 becomes 2. 2 becomes 3. 3 opens the door. 4 lets it in.